Kris Boyd has erupted it. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And of course, at Rangers, there's been another regime change. Kris Boyd ain't happy. No, he's happy in a way that Tellwell and Stewart are gone, but he's not happy that there's been another change. And to be honest, I agree with Boyd in that sentiment, because it's like, as much as we all wanted them to go, it's unacceptable how they're away. Like, see if you're successful, right? This is how it goes. This is how it goes for players, managers, and your board. If you're successful, especially in our league, let's face it, it's not a top league, right? It's not a top league anymore. Not that it was ever, numero uno, but you get my point. It's like, the way you want your manager and your players and your board and other guys like that to be leaving your club is if you're successful and they actually are moving to a bigger club because they've done such a good job, right? Not this way. Like, see if Danny Rowe moves for Rangers and goes to Tottenham, then he's probably had a successful period, which results in trophies. Same for players to a degree. Now, obviously with players it can be a bit different, like Igamani, Leftis, and he won hee-haw. But then on the flip side, you've got guys like Bassi and Aribo who had won things, trophies, league, and obviously got us to a European final. Then you've got like board members that can also be like poached and get took away because they've done some good transfer business, like Rosh Wilson, like examples like that. And like even Coppin, like I think he proved, like he wasn't overly successful in terms of trophies, but he proved, well, I think overly he was barely. I think he's won League Cup to his name. But point is, like, his module last summer of signing guys like Igamani and Yefty for really cheap and selling them on, well, it worked, didn't it? I mean, I can't remember where we sold Yefty to, folks, but it was a decent sum of money. So the point still stands. It's like, as much as you don't want to lose them, if you're losing them to clubs, then it's a good thing, because you're being successful. But if you're sacking them, right? If you're sacking your manager, if you're sacking your backroom staff, your board, right, executives, if players' contracts are running down because literally no one wants to sign them, that's a bad thing. And that's where I agree with Boyd here. It's like, no one really wants anyone to get sacked from your club, because if you're getting sacked, you've done something wrong. And that seems to be, I mean, there is the odd instance where people get sacked, or players fall out with clubs and they never play again and you're successful, but it's a lot rarer than what I've just explained there. So yeah, I agree with Boyd, but it's time for Boyd to erupt. It's time for us to get into some of Kris Boyd's comments. And I quote, "I think there was, in terms of bringing players up, giving them a platform, getting into Europe and trying to move them back down to England or Europe, it's not worked out because they've not been good enough. I don't know how many times Rangers will go back to the same market that's failed them, but they continue to sign players out of the English Championship or League One, and they're spending a fortune on them. They need to get away from it. Or if you're going, get one or two. You can't sign 5 or 6, and that's what it's been for a long period of time now. Also, the decision for the 2 left backs that were signed permanently has been moved on and replaced with a young boy. The back line in terms of loan signings was all over the place. It was said they were just grabbing everything and hoping it was going to work. The strategy for me is the Rangers have tried to bring in younger players and give them a platform, move them on. It's not possible, it ain't possible. Celtic have done it in a way that they've been able to bring in a few youngsters and move them on, but they've always had that core group there that's allowed the youngsters to come in too, hand firemen, and they've flourished in it. From Rangers' point of view, that's not been the case." End of quote. I mean, yeah, it's a mess, man. It's like, I said in the summer when we signed all the loan players, like, if we're sitting at the end of the season with a league title and a cup, or 2 cups and no league title, which is not ideal, but still 2 trophies, or you've got to the Europa League final again, maybe fell short, but you've won the league, I don't know, you've won trophies or something, you've had a successful season, then I don't really care about the loan signings. But the fact is, it was always destined kind of to fail. And not just a loan, I mean, yeah, well, it is because Makoma is a loan signing, you forget about that. It's like, you would have to get extremely lucky in order for only having one left back at the club to work. You would. And you know what, fair play to Jaden Makoma. It's a good thing he's not made out of Weetabix, or else we would have no left back. I mean, it's actually insane that we've been left in that situation. Now, Cornelius can play there, but he's injured. Sterling's back, hopefully soon. He's been training, so that's good news. But to me, it's actually crazy. The recruitment. It feels like they were just going around all these English clubs, like, here, and he's going to loan them to us. But at the same time, I agree with Boyd. It's like, I don't think there's a problem with signing like English Championship players if you limit it. Like, the fact of the matter, if you're signing 9 or 10 players for the one league, there's a good chance that most of them might not be good, because it's just off the average. Now, if you sign 1 or 2, I mean, again, they might not all be good, but maybe one will be good. And to be honest, like, if one's good out of 2, it's a better average than 2 being good out of 10. And I think that's been the problem with Rangers' recruitment. We've went in too deep into a market that's not worked. Now, I'm not saying it's never worked, because we have signed players from it before, the likes of Joe Aribo, right? He came in and he was more than good enough. And I mean, I was going to say Lundstrom, and I guess Lundstrom helped us get us to the Europa League final, but didn't really win an awful lot, so don't know, weird. Anyway, leave it there.